evening, welcome back. We're gonna have ourselves the second game of the night. It is Group D for the Spring Cup, and we're gonna see one of the teams already move on to the playoffs. That's the way this goes. We're in the winners bracket finals of a 4-team mini double elimination bracket. And of the 4 teams in the group, 2 teams will make it to the playoffs, and 2 teams won't. So we are in the winners bracket finals, as said. Loser of this match is not entirely out just yet. Hello, cat. But we'll be forced to play another game after this one, which we are also going to watch. For now, though, it is Maven Gaming taking on TCM or Team St. Nullis. And, of course, once again, I'm joined by G-Advance. Welcome back.
Yep, good to be here. And surprised to see Maven Gaming go through. I think they were the underdogs of this so far. But they managed to come up against St. Nullis here, who probably the favourites for this this group. So this should be a pretty difficult game for them. I mean, we saw Seed Nullis in the last game. They played a pretty, a fairly standard style. They did pick Shadow Fiend, which isn't something we see too often. I'm interested to see what their draft is going to be this time, though.
Me too. I see that Maven already bans out the Ember, which I believe we didn't see banned nor picked in the previous game.
No, I mean, Ember's one of those heroes that some teams seem to think he's amazing, and then other teams like, that hero is nothing special, or, you know, like, kind of bad. And I mean, he does have bad points. One of the biggest things with him is if he gets locked down and anybody hits him, he dies instantly. Yep. So he has terrible stats and 0 armor.
Well, Maven has a plan. Bane Mirana, first 2 pickups, of course a great combination. Downside is everybody knows what the combination is, everybody knows how to deal with it, probably. As St. Nullis also seem to have a plan, like an Ancient Apparition, the push and split push from these 2 heroes is quite scary, to be honest. So hopefully for Maven they will be able to make something happen on the lanes, which is where Mirana and Bane really shine. And yeah, we'll see how they deal with it. They ban out the Nature's Prophet, which is a good call, of course. More push, they don't want to deal with it. We've got ourselves the Bat Rider removed from the team for Seed Nullis. They played it in the previous game. And actually, am I right with that? Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Seed Nullis used Bat Rider in the last game.
Yeah. Diego agrees too. So they don't want to play against it, apparently. Interesting ban, considering I thought they played it really nicely.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why they wanted to ban it if they first pick a Lycan. The big thing about Lycan is being pulled really far out of position like that, or being, you know, held down for a long time, is going to get you killed, because your actual stats and HP pool aren't actually, you know, that great for a strength hero. He's mostly reliant on his skills and actually his ability to split push, something you already mentioned. I do like this this combination of Ancient Apparition and Lycan, especially because it's surprisingly strong in the laning stage. If Lycan, he does a fair amount of damage early. If he wants to, he can pick up an early level Howl. You can get yourself basically an extra, you know, 70 damage just from level 1 of Howl and the Chilling Touch, which is a lot early game. That basically doubles his damage.
Disruptor.
Yeah, Disruptor picked up by Maven. Sorry, I was slightly distracted because the cat apparently doesn't want to leave me alone at the moment.
No worries.
But Maven, I like the Disruptor pickup. I have to say, our previous game, of course, had a Disruptor as well. And that Disruptor had the negatives. Didn't have as big of an impact as I thought it would have, though. But with the Maven, they really seem to be into this blue-purpley lineup. But also, I mean, this is combination gaming. Vacuum into Kinetic Field, Static Storm. It's very scary for team fights. They've got single pick-off with the Bane and Mirana. The thing that I'm missing is someone that can already do a lot in the early game. I mean, Mirana and Bane, they're okay-ish, but
yeah,
I'm missing kind of the driving force, and I'm not too happy if Mirana is going to be the core, the main core carry of this team. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on that last pick for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's probably the biggest issue. Their early game, you know, it's kind of weak, but the thing is they do have great combos. Bane Mirana's, I mean, we've seen it time and time again, it's one of the most reliable combos that you can get. There's very little you can actually do against it, other than, you know, get somebody to block the arrow with, like, Treants or something like that. Lycan, pretty good versus it, because he can obviously use his wolves to block the arrow. But yeah, the big thing for Maven Gaming is they don't have anyone who scales that strong yet, and Seed Nullis have 2 heroes who scale phenomenally well, Weaver and Lycan. Both of them, I mean, neither of them are very fast farming heroes as far as carries go, but the big thing for them is that they can always be split pushing, and they're very difficult to actually kill off. Even with Bane and Disruptor, Weaver and Lycan are both very difficult to kill. Yeah. They're actually very difficult to just lock down for long enough to kill them off. And Maven
just
game
shut
don't
down
have
in
much
the
in the way
lane
of
as
damage.
well. I mean, they're gonna
Yeah.
get farm one way or another. It might not be fast, but it will be stable. And the longer the game goes, the better they will be looking. So yeah, a lot of pressure on Maven, who ban out a team fighty hero, so they don't want to be. They want to be team fighting apparently, and they don't want to be having a seed with any team fighty abilities. I'm worried though, because I mean, it's great if you want a
10
team fight, but you
seconds
have to
remaining.
actually get your enemy team to be wanting to team fight as well, because otherwise, you know,
5 seconds.
they're just
remaining.
not going to be grouping up. They're just not going to 5-man Dota. They're going to continuously split push you to death. And yeah, you
Reserve
can
time.
probably find a pick off here or there, but it's not going to be that much that you can get in return for it, because none of the heroes that Maven has are very strong in pushing.
Dire team pick.
They are nice heroes overall for control, but if they win a fight, it will take a while before they can actually take a tower off the back of that one. So that will be an interesting one to see. And I'm worried. See, they ban out the puck, which would be a nice indeed initiator and control hero as well. However, I do think it would take too long for that blink dagger to come online for that hero. But it might indicate that they
Yeah.
were looking for a storm on the side of a seed. Oh, a doom.
Radiant team.
I guess this is going to be a carry style farming Doom then, because I mean, Maven, they already have their supports. Darkseer will probably go into the off lane. I think, maybe we'll see the Bane Mirana mid, or maybe we'll see the Doom mid. I think this is an interesting pick though. Obviously Doom, great versus Weaver. The thing is that Doom doesn't scale that well. He's great at securing farm, but he's, even with a lot of items, he's still going to hit way weaker than the Lycan is, or the Weaver, and he's less mobile than
5
either of them as
seconds
well, so it's
remaining.
harder for him to get his damage out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Doom can in theory
Reserve time.
snowball a bit, but then you would have to actually actively shut down Lycan and Weaver, which we already said is difficult to do. So it's an interesting pick. As a twist, I would still be able to see Bane as a mid hero. He can do well
Yeah,
and
doable.
level to 6 and then go for supporty items, but at least he can be okay on the lane.
It's doable. The thing with Bane, though, is he's great with extra levels, and extra farm as well, but he's also one of the support heroes that can get away with brown boots at 40 minutes in the game, and it doesn't matter. He still does essentially the same job. Otherwise, he's picking up things like Necrobooks and things like that, and you know, a Doom could do that. Any of the heroes can do that, really, other than maybe a Mirana. I think Mirana Necrobook is pretty poor. But, yeah, I mean, well, Seed Nullis here, they pick up a Dragon Knight, and I'm a little bit worried for Maven Gaming. I have to agree with you here. It's very reliant on this Doom getting really, really fat, if they are going to farm him, which I assume they must do at this point.
Yeah, and I seem to remember Arise when he was in a team with Come With Me and co, to be playing Dragon Knight a lot, and I have a vague recollection of him
Prepare
being
for
this
battle.
actually being one of his signature heroes. So we'll see. But that was in the era when Dragon Knight was picked up a lot. That was before the bottle change, of course, is the one that I'm talking about. But it's a solid mid hero against anybody. So even if TCN is not entirely sure who is going to be the mid hero for Maven, they don't have to worry, because Dragon Knight can do it all. Dragon Knight is omnipresent in the mid lane.
I thought you were going to say he's Omni Knight then.
Yeah, I was almost saying that, and
It's
then I
like,
figured,
what?
no, that's not possible. But yeah, let's take a look at who's playing what, as we do, of course. Once again, this is the winners bracket finals. Winners bracket finals for the Group D of the Spring Cup. And we're gonna see Leon Dota playing the Weaver here on the top lane. He will have Freezer with him, perhaps. Freezer will play the Rubik for the second time. We saw a magnificent Rubik from him in game
30
1.
seconds
I'm
to
hoping for a lot
battle.
of big plays here as well, even though he has maybe a bit less to steal. Can still steal the Fiend script though, but it looks like we're going to have a bit of an aggressive trial in with Ancient Apparition played by Zizu Dota here on the top lane. And then middle it's going to be Arise on his Dragon Knight, and then solo safe lane it is Lycan with grey hair. Hopefully that won't have a negative effect on his reaction times, but it's a Lycan bottom solo safe.
Yeah, and on the side of Maven Gaming, it looks like they're going to be running a dual lane off lane here. It's going to be the Mirana as well as the Bane. Mirana played by Nothing Special. Hopefully he can be a bit special today, but Evasion Dota is going to be on the Bane in the solo mid for the team. It's going to be the stand-in for the team. LeBron actually on the Disruptor here, so solo mid Disruptor. Not something we see often, but he is very strong with farm. That's something we've seen a lot recently.
Yeah.
And Fita for the win is going to be up here jungling on the Doom, which means solo safe lane is actually going to be Arlecchino here. I believe that's how you pronounce that. I don't really know. He's going to be on the Darkseer here, rushing up a Soul Ring. So I mean, these are interesting lanes from both these teams. I would have assumed they would try and defend this this Lycan, because he's going to suffer versus these two heroes. And with the ability to block arrows with the wolves, he's going to get zoned for one. Look at him. I mean, he's really far back in the lane.
Yeah, and I have to say, this middle lane, I really like it as well, because that Thunderstrike got buffed in a patch ago or 2 patches ago, and it's really strong against Dragonite. It's going to force him out to have his bottle very early on, as we do have the Age of Deparation forcing the Doom out from the jungle. One thing that I want to point out is that a player that we saw in the previous game, that we have here, Lycan, and I know we know that it doesn't say anything, but Lycan is apparently 4th in Europe in terms of highest MMR. I mean, we yesterday, we didn't see Full Assassins, because they were not able to win a single game. Whoa! Then the army comes in. They were not able to win a single game in the in the Group C, where Full Assassins was in. So MMR doesn't really mean that much in terms of how well you do in a competitive game with the team. What is LeBron doing, by the way? Is he waiting for the courier? Yes, he is. If he can snipe that courier, that is going to be huge. But he doesn't have vision. He knows it, though. He
knows when it's coming. I mean, that's the thing about a Dragonite. He has to bottle creep.
Hello, come back.
What?
What? That was the bottle. That could have been.
They're gonna wait. They're gonna wait
one.
because the Doom's gonna see it in lane. All right, this makes more sense.
Yeah,
now
he has the
LeBron's
bottle.
gonna come out. Look, here he goes for it, and he's gonna get.
Whoa!
Is it?
He
You hit the
actually-
creeps.
He hit the creeps.
LeBron, please.
LeBron, please get. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay, LeBron.
I was 100% sure he was gonna get that. I was like, okay, they still got it.
No, and that was
Oh,
Zizou
somebody
doing
else
the same
got it.
thing. And the funny thing is, they both have the same courier.
What is the plays here?
Well,
but
maybe
actually,
they
they're
at
gonna
least
go
are
into
gonna get the
Fita.
first blood, perhaps. They go for the Doom. The chilling touches there. The right click should be enough to take him down. One more hit needed, and there it is. Freezer takes the first blood here for TCN. They get at least something. Oh well, no, they got the courier and the first blood. Never mind that. I was confused there for a second. But I mean, LeBron, that was misplay 101.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he has auto attack on or something, but he's going to now move into the bottom lane, so I guess he was originally intended to be a support. They just put him in the middle to see if they could be as greedy as possible, but now they're going to put even more pressure on this Lycan. That said, the Lycan, I mean, he's on 2 last hits, which is awful, but he is getting good XP here, considering. He's got more XP than the Mirana has, probably not more than the lane has here, but now, if he gets even slightly out of position, he's probably going to die to this tri-lane, even if he can block the arrow with his wolves. I think the interesting thing is how Arise is now going to do it against this Doom, actually, because both of them should free farm against each other, but I can see the potential for either of them to get solo kills, maybe once they hit level 6. It's pretty hard for either, though.
Whoa.
And it's all about the ganks, probably.
For a second there, I thought that maybe Arise misplayed the courier so that maybe Fida could still get the courier, but no. I just can't get over the fact that they actually could have had a courier kill, which would have won the lane. Dragonite is only strong in the mid lane because he can bottle crow. Not
yeah,
only
I mean,
that,
that's the
Whoa.
thing about Dragonite is he loses every matchup, right? Pretty much. He's got pretty base damage, but the thing is he can stay in the lane. Under pretty much all circumstances, he can stay in the lane. And he's great with just a few levels and some minor items, and Bottle Crowing allows him to get those minor items, because then he can spam Breathe Fire out.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's pretty hard for him to get Rune Control, although generally in pro games we see a lot of supports do that anyway, so I mean, yeah, he'll need to try and get Rune Control, maybe, but both of them should be able to free farm in this lane here, actually, because both of them are very sustainable. Both of them have a lot of HP regen, Arise from his Dragon's Blood, and Fita from the Scorched Earth, and that doesn't exactly cost a lot of mana, so he's not too worried about needing to Bottle Crow.
Yeah, and of course on the 2 lanes we can compare a couple of people as well. We have got the Darkseer that we can, in a way, compare to the Lycan. Darkseer level 4, Lycan level 5, so he's getting the levels. Although Darkseer is getting a bit more in terms of gold, he's getting more last hits as Arise pops his dragon form. But as you said, Fida is going to be able to just live through it all, as he has got the regen from the Scorched Earth. And then on the carries, we've got Weaver farming against the Mirana. Now overall, Weaver is going to have a bigger impact later game. Middle game is going to be all coming down to that Mirana doing more. She's sitting on 1800 gold, 30 last hits for 7, but she hasn't spent anything yet. Leon,
Is this going to be Midas?
I hope not. I really
I hope not as well, but I think it probably is going to be a Midas. I mean, I think it's
It's
more
a
than I think
Midas.
it's probably just a pet
already
hate
bought
of
the
both of
recipe.
ours, and its win rate is not good. But
No.
that said, it does give you a lot of gold and a lot of XP as well. And Mirana, she does need both those things, and otherwise she can struggle to get farm. I understand why people do it, I just don't like it.
Yeah, perhaps you're also maybe Darkseer might be in some trouble trying to search himself away, but it's gonna not be enough. Weaver gets the kill actually with the swarm, getting the last bite out of him. And I mean, Mirana, I said it, he's farming up against the Weaver. Weaver overall a carry that still needs to get a defensive item before going into some damage items. So in that case, Mirana has got some leeway in terms of taking time for the farm, but I'm just not convinced. But nothing special can of course change my opinion about that, as his Hand of Midas is a fairly decent timing to have, and he is already farming with it, and now finally got himself some shiny new boots. But the Lycan compared to the Darkseer, I was gonna say that, well, Lycan's gonna turn this around with a chilling touch. Perhaps they can find someone. No. Teleport coming in. This is the hasted Doom with Doom, and he goes for it. They want to go for the Lycan here, who dodges an arrow, gets glimpsed back though into the hands of the rest. The cold feet still are gonna come off on that Doom. Will also proc with the telekinesis coming out from Freezer, as Freezer is not level 6 yet, so couldn't steal the Doom. That's a good kill. I was gonna say that Lycan is gonna have a way better time than the Darkseer, but now both offlaners have died once.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah, and the big thing is that Lycan just is not getting farmed at all. He's not getting any farms. 10 for 1 at this point. And the great thing about Darkseer is that even when he's getting beaten in the lane, even when he's suffering like this, he can pretty much always get last hits because of the Iron Shell. And I mean, yeah, he's a lot more farmed than the Lycan is. He's already building up towards a mech, and it looks actually like they're going onto the Mirana here. Bot lane.
They're looking for it, and with that Wolf extra fast and only brown boots, nothing special is not going to be able to get away from this one. Maybe, no, LeBron not able to make a difference.
Oh,
His
now
glimpse of
LeBron's
cooldown
gonna go
and
down
out of
too.
Dragon Tail, yep. Arise coming into play. 2 dead. It is 4 for 1, and TCN is gaining ground fast.
Yeah, this is a big turnaround for TCN, because at this point, they weren't getting a huge amount of farm, and like you said, whilst Leon, on the Weaver, he's getting a fair amount of farm, but he does need an extra defensive item. So getting some kills perhaps on the Lycanthrope, yeah, it's not what you'd want. You'd like him to free farm here. I think they left him solo because they expected him to. But yeah, he's turned around, gets himself an extra kill there, and that's one of the dangers of just using your leap too early or at the wrong time with Mirana, because it's not a short duration escape. It's not like a blink or on Queen of Pain, or you know, a time walk on Faceless Void, for instance. It's a long cooldown at level 1, and you don't level it up until the other skills are maxed out, really. So,
Well,
yeah,
you want to level
he
it
gets
up
killed.
before the arrow, I find. The damage,
I don't know,
extra damage on the
not
arrow.
this game, not with a Bane on your team. It looks like a Rise. He's going to get caught out here by an arrow combo.
Yeah, there we go. Arrow level 2, it hits. Yay. Starstorm, I don't think he's gonna die though. He is thinking of, oh, hello. Now he is gonna die there. Maybe denied, now with a Doom on him. Freezer could turn around, and we have seen Freezer making some nice plays. Can he make another nice play? 1, 2, denied! Told you so. Not that you were gonna say it otherwise, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot committed onto him there, and they didn't have enough disables after the arrow to actually sort of finish him off. They didn't have the ultimate on the Bane yet, because he's actually getting a little bit under level, which is one problem that all the supports seem to be having that issue right now, apart from Freezer, who, as you mentioned, we saw him in the last game. This guy is a really legit player, and looks like they're going top here.
Yeah, that Darkseer wanted to teleport out, but the...
He has Doom. Freezer has Doom.
Oh god, Freezer is in some trouble, might actually die here if an arrow actually hits him, but he's able to get away.
Doom
now,
him.
Not Doom
Okay,
him.
no.
I like his control though, because he could
No,
have.
just Doom him.
He has got
I
6
wanted to
charges, but
use
not
Doom.
enough mana for Doom. 25 mana left. 25 mana short
Dire's
for having
bottom
the
tower
Doom
is
to be
under
used. But in
attack.
the meantime, bottom lane has
Oh,
got some
bottom lane.
trouble. Zizou will be the one to go down. Overextension and W33 glimpsed back his wolves. Cannot kill off something that is smoked. Nicely done. Good reaction as
Dire's
well. Otherwise,
bottom
those wolves
tower
would
is
have
under
killed
attack.
off that disruptor for sure.
Yeah, and a good sort of mechanical play that is to use the smoke when only the wolves are able to get you, because they glimpse back the Lycan, and of course, heroes and towers, they break smoke, but creeps, even those that are summoned by heroes, don't break the smoke. So if they use the smoke, even under the watchful eye of 2 wolves, the wolves suddenly can't see them anymore, which, I mean, doesn't make much sense as far as like thinking about it, but you know, from a gameplay standpoint, it's very interesting.
Yep, I agree, and I'm kind of getting scared for Maven again because the Lycan that was shut down so early, wait a second, on the top lane, it seems like we're having a bit of a skirmish. Arise with a double damage room, tries to find a target, in comes Fina though with the Doom, lands it on Arise, and now all of a sudden Arise is not going to be able to do anything.
Oh,
Landed
God.
in the Static Storm, and
Just
dead
use everything
he is.
on him.
Weaver looking for something in return, the Cold Feet did not proc the how does he always get a haste run? Doom gets Doom, that's what Freezer was saving that for, and Lion still looking for that kill, still looking for the revenge, and that is indeed Freezer dominating right now as he gets the credit for the Doom kill. Arise back in this as well. He actually bought back, trying to find something else worth buying back for. The time lapse away, Lion still going for this, actually doesn't really know which target to go for. Now we'll go on LeBron, who will get picked off there, looks for a double kill. Can he also find the Darkseer? Shikushi? No, he's not going to chase that. He's looking for someone else. We're seeing that the Mirana is in some trouble. No leap, no Moonlight Shadow, no nothing. He's dead. Evasion. Doesn't have enough mana for a Brain Step to try and take down the Rubik, and now showed himself and is a dead man. Double kill, triple kill for Leon, and that is definitely a worthy buyback for Rise. And once again, I just want to point out Freezer.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. Freezer is amazing.
It's... yeah.
I want to be Freezer.
I don't have anything
I
to
actually
add
want
to
to
that
be
one.
as good as him. He's really good.
He's been involved in 8 out of the 9 kills, which is impressive since he was, you know, he cannot be everywhere on the map. Well, there have been kills everywhere on the map. And he has been stealing great spells. Now he has got Surge. It's, you know, it's a fairly easy skill to steal, so we're not going to give that too much credit, but still a very handy skill. And I just love that he was able to be so patient with the Doom that he stole, to actually use it at the right time. Not like often when a Rubik steals an awesome spell. I know I played Rubik recently. I actually won. Yay! I stole Chronosphere.
You won a game?
And I was so... thanks. I was so
It's
trigger
okay.
happy to use it that I used it, and nothing came of it. I died. Teammates ran away. You know, typical scenario. We still won, yes, but it's it requires a lot of control, and I like that a lot. As a Lycan with the Vlads that he has. I mean, this Lycan doesn't look like he's been shut down anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's turned it around. He's gotten himself a little bit of space as well as a kill, and that's the thing about Lycan, is you can maybe shut him down early, but he is a great split pusher. And in fact, look at how many towers are dead. Speaking even more on Freezer, you didn't catch it because I saw where your camera was, but, well, more important things are actually happening, but the way that Freezer actually played in that fight was brilliant, because as soon as he stole Surge, he used it on the Dragon Knight after the Mirana had actually leaped. So that was how the Mirana ended up dead.
Freezer is stuck, but as long as he doesn't auto-attack, they won't see him. In the meantime, Arise got glimpsed back, doomed and arrowed and static stormed. So that's going to be a kill there. Freezer is still stuck, but his blink is off cooldown again, so he can go wherever he wants to. Well, within blinking distance, obviously. He's gonna
Yeah,
wait
he'll
until
manage to get
Lion
out
is
of
there.
here, but
Ooh, Lion is
I've got to
blinking.
say, Arise is taking a lot of hate from the side of Maven right now. I mean, I guess, you know, he's probably one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known player on the team, and sometimes you can get into that mentality where you're like, just kill that guy.
Oh, that Fiend's Grip! He just had it! Now the Fiend's Grip, even though it was Lincoln, it is Rubik that uses it. Freezer having a great game once again. They try to take down the Darkseer, and what am I saying try for? They take down the Darkseer. That was just... I mean, really, the Lincoln's was only complete just a second before, so apparently Bane didn't really know yet that it was on cooldown. It was such a simple play also. He could have, if he knew that the Lincoln's was up, he could have Nightmared and then Fiend's Grip, but no. Fiend's Grip procced, Freezer stole Fiend's Grip, down goes Maven, and down go their tier 3 tower apparently as well, tier 2 tower rather, which is the last tower up on the outer skirts of Maven's outpost. Denied? No, not denied, just a kill. As, yeah, that is gonna be, whoa, that's gonna be an aggressive play here from Fida. They take away the Aegis, which is great. Freezer in some trouble, but he should be able to turn around and be okay, as Fida is the one to get forced back, while Weaver is already trying to just harass Maven further back into their base. I mean, it's only 14 minutes into this game, but TCN, they are in utter control.
Yeah, they're absolutely dominating these fights, and I've got to say, he might not look like it, but Freezer is one of the carries for this team. He's one of their core players. He's doing a huge amount in this, and the great thing is that TCN are capitalizing on his great play. They're using their heroes perfectly at this point, and yeah, Maven, I mean, it's not like they performed badly, but they're just getting outplayed at this point. It just seems like TCN are just, you know, a more talented team. Even everything that they can do, they're just not able to do much against the side of against the side of TCN here.
Yeah, I mean, we're giving a lot of credit to Freezer, of course, but also...
I'm giving him all the credit.
Yeah, but the rest of his team is definitely pulling their weight as well. I mean, we had a shutdown Lycan, but he managed to only die once this game, and he has just caught up so well. Still takes a Doom to the face, looks like he is gonna die again. As he might actually get the Knight though. The arrow is looking for a target, will not find anybody, almost connects with Sisu, but in the end does not happen. Fiend's grip on Freezer, well that's how you do it, but the Dragon Tail comes out and it's Bane that is the one to die instead. Monster kill by the Weaver. Glim's back on the rise inside the kinetic field. Is there a follow-up? Is there enough damage? I think there is. The arrow will take it down. Lion will get a triple kill in the meantime though. He is just wrecking right now. Nobody is paying attention to him. He can just do whatever he wants to, and now Maven is forced back into their base, where they've already lost one melee rack. Telekinesis as Freezer blaze forward, and the kill goes away to the Wolves of the Lycan. The GG comes out, 16.5 minutes played. It is TCN that is just showing some dominating performance. I cannot wait to see them again in the playoffs, because that is where they will be headed towards.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things there is that Maven perhaps just didn't have enough early game damage and enough early game focus as well. They'd drop everything on the Dragon Knight, and he'd get denied by Freezer. We saw it earlier on. He got doomed, and he got pulled back into a static storm. That's half their disables gone at that point. And then they have to deal with a Weaver and a Lycan, who are both very mobile within the fight. We saw the Lycan running around using his ulti, not to run away from people. He's not split pushing. He was doing it to kill people. And the Weaver was doing pretty much the same thing. And, I mean, their scores show it. Weaver is 10-0-6. Nobody ever dropped anything on him, and he just used that. He just went, fine, nobody's going to use anything on a Weaver. I'm going to become a god within these fights. And
He did.
yeah, the great support play by Freezer, I mean, it really seals the deal for them.
I fully agree. And of course, as said, they just won 2 games in a row. That means that they make it through to the playoffs of the Spring Cup. It is not over yet for Maven though. They will go up against the winner of the loser bracket first round game, which is a game that was between Tricked, there we go. Tricked and Can't Describe. There we go. I knew it. There we go. Good. So that's going to be our next game. However, because we were actually quite fast with this game, we might have to have a bit of a break before the next game is going on. So be patient. We will be back with another game. Stay tuned. More action coming out. And I think this game, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it just was a bit outdrafted. So hopefully for Maven, they will have a better chance in the next game, have a better draft in the next game, a more well-rounded draft to deal with whichever team they will be up against. We'll be right back, though, with Games of Dota.